From director Osgood Perkins, Longlegs is such a phenomenal film all around. Between Nicolas Cage, Micah Monroe, Blair Underwood, Alicia Witt, and so many more, this film is eerie, it is so creepy, it is so eclectic, and it is very gripping. Let's get into it. What is up, everyone? Thank you for joining me for another review. So today we're talking about Longlegs, and I know it took me a while to see this, but man, let me tell you, wow, Nicolas Cage deserves an Oscar for this performance. He was not really in the movie all the way through, but the times that he was in the movie gives him that right to deserve an Oscar for this performance. Nicolas Cage is one of those actors that is kind of like a one-tone, one-note actor, but we all love him, you know what I mean? This movie, he took that and ran with this role. The minute he showed up on screen, I looked at my girl and I was like, what? Like, this man went ham with this role. So the basic premise of this film is Longlegs, who is played by Nicolas Cage, preys on younger girls who have a birthday around the 14th of any month, and it targets their family in a certain way, and more specifically targets the male in the family, which unfortunately leads to a lot of issues with the rest of the family, which leads to the demise of the whole family. Without giving you true spoilers of what the real nature of this film is, because when you get to the nitty-gritty of this film, you're like, that's kind of messed up and freaky, but damn. So Longlegs is a serial killer that people couldn't catch. They couldn't figure out how he was doing this. So it is an occult group, you know, an occult idea behind the killings of all these families. And the idea behind this movie is just so weird, but this movie is phenomenal. One of the best movies I've seen this year besides Wicked and Fall Guy. This movie is so well done. Micah Monroe plays Agent Lee Harker, and man, does she do a bang-up job. Man, with her facial expressions and the way how she reacts to the other characters, especially Blair Underwood's character, who's Agent Carter. The way how she interacts with him and other people, especially her first partner, which things go kind of south with. Right in the first 10 minutes of the film, you are there like, what in the hell? First 10 minutes happened and my girl and I were like, what? That's how I knew. Like, I already heard great things about this movie, but man, did I not expect that things would just pop off so fast and so real and so crazily. Alicia Witt, what a beautiful performance. What a beautiful performance that woman gives. Like, this movie all around was just absolutely beautiful. There are some issues that I had with this movie. There's the runtime. I feel like we could have kind of dove a little bit more into some history with certain characters, specifically Longlegs. We could have dived a little bit more into his character before certain things happened. There's some alliterations to like the birthdays and everything else that happened that we could have dove more into as well. Could have done a little bit better with the description behind Longlegs' name and his whole shtick with the families and the birthdays on the 14th. Like, why is it the 14th? Like, they expand on it, they talk about it, and they talk about something else that leads up to the 14th, like 6 days before that. So again, I don't want to give anything away. They do lead up into that, but I think that there should be a little bit more backstory with certain things. But overall, that did not take away from the film at all. This film really had us gripped. Like, I literally had to sit up a few times and I was sitting like this watching the movie because I was just like, yo, what the hell is going on? What a beautiful movie. I cannot believe I missed it earlier this year, but I'm glad I saw it now. To be an FBI agent has to be one of the most grueling and just terrible jobs to have, because no matter what, you're getting called for the worst things. Like, you know, you're showing up, it's not going to be a pretty scene. It's the stuff that like the homicide and the CSI people can't even handle, or maybe not even they can't handle, but it's above their pay grade, so they have to call in the FBI, you know? So if you're an FBI agent and you're getting called to a scene, you know it's going to be gruesome, it's going to be gory, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty, it's going to smell terrible, it's going to be horrendous. Being in that field, you have to be a strong mind, strong stomach, a strong heart, like everything. To see the realness behind being an FBI agent that stuff has happened to before, and things that you've gone through, just the human nature aspect behind it. That's also what added to a lot of the liking for this film from me. It was the realness behind Micah Monroe's character that gripped me even more. Especially when we get later into the film. The third act it took me out, bro. It took me out in a good way, Third act took me out. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. This is the person? This is what's happening? What? Why? And you realize that you would do anything for somebody that you love, you value, you care for, means the world to you. You would do anything. If you take a step back and you think about it, what would you do for your family? What would you do for your friends? What would you do for your significant other? What would you do? Anything to protect them, to make sure that they're okay, to keep them alive, to make sure that they see another day. You would do anything for them. And as messed up as it is in this film, I understand that. I can empathize with the idea of making sure that who you love is taken care of. However, the way how we went about this in this movie, boy, yeah, yikes. We could have gone so many other healthy ways, but yeah, it's fine. So overall, a phenomenal film. Cinematically, acting, the special effects, the story, everything. Beautiful. Thank you guys again for joining me for another review. You know what the deal is. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't, and stay tuned for more. All right, guys. Until the next one.